Your friendly neighborhood YouTuber is rated PG-13. Parental advisory, explicit content. Viewer discretion is advised. Namaste. Hey, what's up everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are, man, continuing my 31 days of Halloween. Okay, so today we got Toto from the Twisted Tales of Wizard of Oz. I bought this guy loose. As you guys can see, he is freaking dope, dude. And I've seen reviews of this guy, like you guys may have. Let me bring my camera down just a little bit. But out of all the reviews I've watched, there's one thing that a lot of these reviewers didn't catch, and that was something inside of his stomach. So before we get to that, I'll reveal that in a minute. Before we get to that, we're going to take a look at this masterpiece, man. Right here. Actually, I'll just get to it right now, being that I want to lift up the figure and show you some of the detail. His stomach actually does pop out like this, and it reveals this grotesque, I don't know what this is, man, a bile of goop or brains or poop or I don't know what it is, man, but it actually pops off. His bottom pops off. Now, when I was watching reviews of this figure, never seen any of the reviewers actually take off this bottom piece, and the bottom piece is actually removable, so you can look inside the hollowness of this slug-like creature. Now, I'm not really familiar with this line. I'm not for sure if this guy is Toto or if this guy is Toto. I'm guessing they are both one and the same, because as you guys can see, it looks like half of his body is inside this jelly-like creature right here. But I just wanted to show you that right there, because not too many reviewers have showed you this right here. And also, it looks like it was kind of cracked at the bottom, and I guess it was removed. But you can actually pop it back in there, no problem. So let me pop this right here, and it just kind of snaps in there like so. So it's not really broken. You just pop it out right there. So I'm guessing this was cracked and somebody tried to pop it open to see what was inside. But hey, if you want to store some money in here, you can store some money in here, because it's very, very hollow inside. So now that we took a look in the inside, let's take a look on the outside. And the detail on this guy is just absolutely amazing, dude. There is no articulation on this blob of awesomeness other than his head, which we'll get to that in a moment. But I love the translucent green rib cage that you can see in there. The boils right here on his skin, kind of like poop protruding from his skin. There's his tail, there's his foot, kind of like slugging along, not really walking. Some more of the brown boils, white boils, some white residue on him, kind of like a slug-like slime. And then we come around to his head right there. There's his teeth, and I like the apparatus that he has on his mouth to keep his mouth open, kind of like a harness for his head. Now, his head is the only part of his body that's articulated. It can go up, go down, like that. And the straps right here, I forget what you call this, like for like a... man, I forget what it's called for the horse. I forget what it's called, but we'll just call it straps for now. You guys probably know. You'll correct me in the comments. No, friendly neighborhood YouTuber is called blah, 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 blah. You dumbass. But yeah, it doesn't hinder the articulation at all. It gives the room and the length right here for you to turn his head, so it doesn't tug on the straps right here. Dude, this guy is just freaking creepy. And he, as you guys can tell by the flat bottom right there, he sits very nicely. He has no problem standing up or sitting down or laying down, however you want to look at it. So let's take a look at the gentleman on top right here. Not for sure if this is Toto or if this whole figure is Toto, but I guess they're like one and the same. So as you can see, he's kind of like a crusty old guy, kind of a zombie. He does have like a waist swivel right here, so you can get him to swivel. The details on him are magnificent, man. No, nothing in the arms, nothing in the wrist, but he does have a head swivel, so you can get his head to swivel. What he's wearing on top, it kind of looks like a, I don't know, man, like some kind of wizard hat, or maybe a dead witch's head he's wearing. It could be. It has the nose right there, as you guys can see, he's wearing for the hat. Beautiful, beautiful figure. The detail on his little chair right here, the purple and the gold on his chair is done very, very nicely, man. The back is done very nicely. The detail is like no other. You know, Mcfarlane, when it came to a lot of these figures, especially these like statue-like figures, Mcfarlane was the best at detail. Inside, you can see the inside right there, where his torso is going down into the beast. So he must have his feet inside of his back, or maybe they're one and the same. Hence that this figure is named Toto, so he only has one name, so I guess they are both one and the same. So let me give you guys a closer look at the detail if you guys are not seeing it. Beautiful, beautiful piece, man. Not much for articulation, but it is a beautiful, beautiful display piece. The face, they've done very nicely. The teeth are all crooked. One tooth is longer than the other. There's no two teeth that are exactly the same. The mouth is done very nicely. The inside of his dark mouth is done very nicely. Put your finger in there. Ah, he's got me! Ah! Tongue is done very nicely. I love the tongue, the saliva that they put on the tongue, kind of like a glitteriness. And I love the effect that they gave him too, kind of like a glossiness as well over his skin to make him look slimy. I love the orange and yellow beady eyes. I love how they did the orange right there and then put the yellow in the middle. And then they put a little bit of a darker yellow for like a pupil as well, if you guys can see that. The inside of his eyes are kind of looks like they're struck open, kind of like his mouth. For his ears, it looks like he's got like snails for his ears. I don't know how well you guys are seeing that. See the snails for his ears? Kind of like as earrings or maybe part of his ears. I think that's a really, really unique touch, being that he does look like a kind of like a slug. Hence, give him some snail ears, you know. The harness for this guy is done very, very nicely. It's kind of like it's a plastic. This right here is kind of like a rubberized strap right here. Done very, very nicely. The harness is done very nicely. It doesn't affect his articulation when you turn his head. I like how it's done, man. Done very, very nicely. I love how the harness is a part of his articulated head. That's really, really dope. The toes are done very nicely. Toenails. Overall, great, great figure, guys. Okay, let's do some measurements, and I'm going to go ahead and give you my rating. So Toto, all the way up to the top of his head, is at, we'll say, about a little bit over 7 inches tall. Lengthwise, Toto stands approximately, or lays approximately, we'll say 9 inches. Widthwise, he's probably at about 5 inches tall, or 5 inches in width. Okay, guys, let me give you my rating. I think this guy is awesome, man. For what he is, a beautiful display piece. This is my first Twisted Tales of Oz right here. I definitely want to pick up all the figures because I think all the figures from the Wizard of Oz are awesome, man. So I definitely want to build my collection. This guy is no exception. I love this figure. Okay, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, I'm going to give this guy, you know, he's not really a 9, but he's pretty close. He's better than an 8, so I'm going to give this guy 8.5. 8.5 because he's half a man. So I can't give him the entire 9. But I love the detail. I love the hollowness right here. I love that they were able to put this in here, and you can pop this off, and it reveals this guck, this intestinal guck inside. That's really, really awesome. So yeah, it's definitely 8.5, man. I definitely recommend this piece if you guys love cool, creepy stuff. This guy is definitely awesome, man. So a lot of detail, amazing detail, throwback to, you know, one of Mcfarlane's better works of art, you know, without it being a Spawn-related figure. So I definitely like this figure, and I definitely like this lineup. I'm definitely want to collect a lot more of these Twisted Tales of Oz. Alright, guys, so there was my little review of Toto. Let me know what you think of this figure, or these figures. And there you guys have it. I just want to thank you guys for watching in. I'll catch you guys in the next review. Peace out!